Yesterday we discussed about a VLAN, right? We discussed about what is switch, and the switching means creation of VLANs, okay, trunking, VTP, the STP, port security. These are all comes under switching concept. In that one, first one is VLAN, virtual LAN, okay, virtual local area network. Simply to say, you are divided one LAN into multiple LANs. Just what we are discussed yesterday evening. Same thing, just for quick review purpose. Okay. So how can we create? How can we divide one single LAN into multiple VLANs? So we we create like a group of switch ports into a one single VLAN. Okay. So that's the problem. The device is connected to those ports in the under one single VLAN that will communicate each other. The device is connected to one VLAN and won't communicate, unable to cannot communicate to the devices connected to another VLAN. Okay. So to switch, we can't assign IP address. Switch is understand only MAC address wise, not in a IP layer. But to the VLANs, we can able to assign IP address. By default, every switch, it is configured with the VLAN 1. Every VLAN, every switch, all the ports comes under VLAN 1 only. Okay. And that VLAN 1 itself is a management one. You can assign an IP address to VLAN 1 to access the switches through network. Means through from my system, I want to connect to my switch for configuration purpose remotely using IP address. We can do it. Okay. And of course, switches and routers, guys, I didn't told about the initial configurations. We'll see that one also. Okay, compulsory. We will see the initial configurations. Directly a functionality I'm going. That's why I'm not discussing that since right now. Generally, the switches comes under L2 switches, layer 2 switches, means in OS layer, data link layer it is. Okay, so the switches generally L2 switches. But there is a multi-layer switches also there. That is called a L3 switches. Where we use these L3 switches for routing between different networks in a local, in a LAN or CAN kind of networks. So we use these multi-layer switches to route between the different networks, to route between the different VLANs also. Okay. And some more points are there like a DHCP, VLAN IP address. Okay. And again, yeah, one more point that is we can assign IP address to VLANs. For example, here VLAN 10, VLAN 20 is there. We can also assign IP address to these VLANs. Two purposes are there. One is for inter-VLAN purpose, means to communicate between, to make a communication between different VLANs. So we use inter-VLAN technique. Inter-VLAN technique we can configure using the multi-layer switches or regular L3 routers. Using routers or multi-layer switches. Multi-layer switches also doing routing, and of course, our router, like a router, it will do both. Means router will communicate between different networks. Multi-layer switches also make communicating between different networks. But router has a WAN ports. Multi-layer switches do not have WAN ports. Means not WAN connectivity purpose. Only within a LAN or CAN kind of communication, we use multi-layer switches. Okay. Second important of assigning IP address to the VLANs is DHCP purpose. Okay, DHCP. Like in your VLAN, you have a devices, they need an IP address. Either you assign manually or you should get it from DHCP. But for every VLAN, for each and every VLAN, separate DHCP server if you are connected, they won't get communicated. Okay. So it's very difficult. Again, one port for one DHCP and multiple DHCP servers are required. Instead of that one, so simply we configure IP address and we configure that thing is in a DHCP. That will separately I will explain once again. Again, here is a switch. In the switch, we have a ports, right? So device is connected to the switch port, and the devices are connected to the switch. So then all these devices will communicate each other by connecting the ports. Okay, so this is simply a single LAN network. And switch is a single broadcast domain, multi-collision domain. Single broadcast domain means if you want to reach from A system is communicating to B or C or D, what happened? So switch broadcast the packets to the devices. Those who are connected to the switch, it will broadcast packet to every device in the network before this MAC table is created. But switch use a MAC table to unicast the packets. Later, switch use a unique MAC address table to unicast the packets. Okay. I think I explained that when I studied, right? A want to communicate it to B. A send a packet to the switch port. Then switch take that packet and check the source MAC address, means APC MAC address, and what port it is connected. It will put that information in the MAC address table. The MAC address table. A's MAC address and the switch port is 1. They put it in a MAC address table. And want to communicate it to B. So what is the destination? B's MAC address. In this MAC address table, B's MAC address is there or not. If not available, it broadcast. If it is available, it's sent to that packet to that port directly without broadcasting. This is the use of MAC address table. This is how switches works. Then what is this VLANs? The device is connected to a switch. 1 second. Hello. Good afternoon. Okay. So where are we? Yeah. We can in a one single a switch means it's a one LAN we are created, one single segmented network. So you can divide one switch into a multiple VLANs. It means one single segmented network is become now multiple segmented network. Logically, we are dividing one single segmented network into multiple segmented network. Even they are having same logical IP, the devices connected to the different VLANs, they cannot able to communicate each other. For example, this is VLAN 11, this is VLAN 12, VLAN 13. These devices cannot communicate each other. Means the devices connected in one VLAN, they will communicate each other. The devices connected one VLAN is cannot communicated to other VLAN devices. Okay. Any other points? Yeah, that's somewhat it is given. And also yesterday we implemented one switch with VLANs. So same thing will continue. Means I'm going to open the Cisco packet tracer. I hope everyone is installed Cisco packet tracer. This is simple. Okay, of course we have to log in. it is actually runs a local packet tracer server type. So that's why it is asking login to the server. If you observe localhost 8001 port, a server is running in background. So it is, once you log in, you can able to connect it. Yeah. So if you open another one also, same time, like if you open one more packet tracer, or if you open the already created packet tracer things, still we need a authentication. Second time I open immediately. So because first that is authentication, still that session is valid. It will go to the same browser, ask for authentication. It got authenticated automatically. If you take time, means you log in a 1 hour back. Now you are trying to access one more packet tracer. Again, it will ask login. So just give a credentials. It's not asking any login, but earlier one is authenticated, same session is open. In that same server, we are connected. Yeah. It the screen. Okay, what we'll do first, again, we'll create the VLAN. Okay. And yesterday, I'm unable to copy that things now. So that's where there's some small problem. We got it. I resolved it. It's not any other things, only some line. Because of one line, it contains greater than, less than symbol line. So that is giving us problem. Okay. Okay, guys, we will see the thing what we have done yesterday. So then again, continuity is there. So 1 second, I am waiting for a lot of time. Huh? So I'm getting, okay, we'll do same thing first. Okay, then we'll do remaining. Here we have to configure IP address manually. Okay, what about two switches are there like that? So one by one. Yesterday you are already seeing, guys. So then I will try to do little faster. But while I'm doing, I will talk. Okay. So then listen. and see. I hope you are. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 are belongs to one VLAN. Okay, from 6, 7th port, 8th port, 9, 10. So those are all. So another VLAN. You can put a 3, 4 LANs also. 3, 4 VLANs also. You can put it like a 2 more system. I will take it. Okay, and 11 and 12. These are all one VLAN. Okay, so this is VLAN 1. This is VLAN 2. Okay, this is VLAN 3. Actually, by default, the switches, okay, only one single. Sorry, by default, it is VLAN 1. So what we want to configure, this is VLAN 11, VLAN 12, VLAN 13. Okay, so connecting to a switch or a router using a console port like this. There is a console port. How to connect it to the console port and all. I will show it to you, that initial configurations and all. But the switching concept we will simply click on this CLI. Then see, this is called a user mode. Okay. Once type enable, you will go to the privileged mode. In privileged mode, show commands are there. Well, 1 second. Before that configuration, we have to configure IP address to all the system. The biggest trouble for this is one biggest trouble is, what is that? PC IP address configuration, not a protocol, not anything. Okay, configuring IP address to the system, correcting these connections. So when I doing practices, mainly router practice, 1, 2, 3. Six, 17. Can take normal, any random. Now we want to test before creating VLAN. Are these systems are communicating? Yes. From here to here communication is there? Yes. From here to here communication is there? Yes. So all these are communicating. Okay. So successfully communicating. So in bottom we listen to it. Now we'll make this the VLAN. Okay. So we enter into privileged mode. Here some commands will work, like what is your VLAN information. So all the ports are belongs to VLAN 1 by the default. VLAN 1 is a native VLAN. Okay. Native VLAN, and it is management VLAN. Management port it is. And all the by default, every port is belongs to VLAN 1. You want to see the configuration which is currently running in this system, then put a command is show running hyphen config. Show running config. Somewhere I running mistake, spelling mistake. So this is currently running configuration in our switch. My switch name is, host name is switch. If you want to change the name of the switch, also you can change. So what ports, what configure in it, what is that? Like port information. Okay. All ports are by default in the switch on only. And interface VLAN 1, no IP address, it is shut down. Line console, line VTY, Anything configured for a console, we can also see. This is our currently running configurations. Yeah, we'll go into configure VLAN. Before that one, I want to give a host name for this switch, like a switch one. Okay. So to configure anything, you must go to the configure terminal. It's called a global configuration terminal. To configure to your switch or router, we have to type configuration terminal. Next, I want to put a name for this one, host name, and the host name is switch one. Okay, the host name is switch one. The name of the host switch is, now it is switch one. Next, VLAN. I want to create a different VLAN. So the VLAN 11, name of the VLAN is, for example, sales and exit. That is VLAN mode. So from in a configuration mode, sub mode is VLAN. So when you go certain things like if you go to interfaces, you will go to interface mode, config-if, like that. Okay. Again, we are creating a VLAN database. Just three VLANs we are creating, right? HR. There is no capital, small, everything is same here. Okay, commands or anything, it's take as a small letter. If you give capital letter also, it will take small letters. Okay, so no problem in a capital, small. No, it's not a case sensitive, first of all. Simply. So VLAN database is created. Yesterday, to see the what you are configured, okay, so like a status kind of stuff, like show command we run earlier. Okay. To do that one, you must go to the privileged mode, right? So you have to go to the other exit, then you will go to privileged mode. Then show VLAN 3 here. So it is 3 VLANs are created, but no port is associated with these VLANs. Okay. Next. Again, to configure, you have to go to configure terminal. Okay. Next. Of course, you have to save the configuration, but still we are doing now, so no problem. So we'll save it once everything configured. Now, I have to associate certain ports to these VLANs. Interface VLAN FA 0 by 1, fast Ethernet 0 by 1 port. I want to access, I want to put it to the VLAN level. Okay. So then we have to put a switch port mode. Different switch port modes are there. One is access mode, another one is trunk mode, and another different modes also there. Access mode, trunk mode, and dynamic mode. Three modes are there. So we are using two modes here. One is access mode we are using right now. Later I will show you what is the trunk mode in this current practical only. Next extension of practical. This is we have done yesterday, but again we are doing it. I said this port is access port. So then we can, which access we have to spell. Which access? VLAN 11. Now this port is belongs to VLAN 11. If you observe, when I put an interface, config-if means I'm in interface mode. Okay. I want to check it. Really this F01, okay, F0 by 1, FA0 by fast Ethernet 01 is belongs to VLAN 11 or not. Okay, I want to check the status. I want to check this. I have to put this command show VLAN brief for that one. Okay, but thing is, you cannot give the command in the global configuration mode. It will show you a error message like this, invalid input. To do that, to give this command, where to go? Privileged mode. But I don't want to go privileged mode. Again, go there, configuration terminal. It's again 2 steps, 3 steps I have to do it. So simply before that command, I'm using do. What does it do? Then that it will take the command just like you are running on a privileged mode. Okay. In privileged mode, you can't give any configuration mode commands. But in configuration mode, you can run the privileged mode commands. Okay. Simply you have to put a do before the command, privileged mode commands. See, FA01 is belongs to VLAN 11. Okay. So we verified, but thing is we are adding one by one interfaces to these VLANs. It will take lot of time. So anyway, I have a range of thing. Independently, for example, you are separately like a FA19 or a 17 and a 14. Individually are associating accessing port like that you want to configure compulsory. You have to run the command like this only. Means you have to take one by one interface, then add it to the VLAN one. But I want to add a series of ports into a one VLAN. So here my planning is add FA01 to FA05. These 5 ports I want to add it to the VLAN 11. But one already added, but remaining I have to add it. So I want to add everything at a time. FA0 by 2 to FA0 by 5. Okay. So I went to the interface range mode. But same command. Switch port mode access means I make all these remaining the 4 ports as access ports and switch port mode, switch port access VLAN 11. So I made them into the VLAN. Exit. You can also run the same command. See, now FA1 to FA5 now belongs to VLAN 11. So next one is interface range FA06 to FA010. This entire range I want to put switch port mode access. So this R belongs to VLAN 12. Again, interface range, compulsory verify once you have done. Okay. FA0 by 11. 2. You have to check the interface names properly, guys. Okay. Different switch where we are using the differences, different port names are there. So you have to clearly see the port name and you have to put it. Okay. And FA 11 to 15. Now these 5 ports, is it required to take only 5 ports? No, no. You can take 10. You can take 2. You can take only 1. Also, we can do it. Okay. Does not mean only 5 only you have to take it. Just I'm taking 5 ports wise. In some practical, I will take 10, 10, 10, 10 like that. Okay. We connect 3 tens. Okay. 10, 10, 20 completed. The remaining is only 4 ports are available. Switch port mode, access. Switch mode, access. LAN 13. Now, I want to go to the privilege mode from here. So simply put an end, then you'll go to the privilege mode directly. No need of exit, exit, exit. Simply end, it will take. And check it. Show VLAN brief. So now 1 to 5, 6 to 10, 11 to 5 is now belongs to the VLAN 11, VLAN 12, VLAN 13 respectively. Okay. Once VLAN configuration is done, what you have to do? Save it. To save the command. So what are the commands we have done? That is now inside of running configuration, which means it's in the RAM. All these configuration temporary running in the RAM only. Earlier we used the command, right? Show running config. Show running configuration. See the 1, 2, 3, 4. Now there are switch port mode. Earlier it is empty. Now not there here. Now some configuration is showing there. See, that is 11. This is VLAN 12, 13. Then 16 onwards, we didn't say anything to it. Okay, with switch port and all, we didn't it. Okay, this is our running configuration. Okay, but this is currently in the RAM. Means think like you have a notepad. You put some data in your notepad. You didn't save it, but data is still in the notepad only, in that file, but you didn't save it. Okay, where is the data now? It's in the RAM. If you save it, it will be in the hard disk, right? Same time, you have to save it. To save it, two commands are there. Easy. Show copy running current, whatever the currently in the RAM, copy that into startup. So, sorry, I will show you the startup also. Startup config. So when you power on your switch or a router, this startup configuration stores inside of your switch or router in the NVRAM, non-volatile RAM is there inside. Okay, RAM is volatile RAM. General RAM is volatile, but it is contains non-volatile RAM, just like a SSD type. A small chip is called it's a non-volatile RAM, like a hard disk. Our system, our computers having hard disk, store our data, our configuration. When you power on it, we load it that configuration. So that is called a startup configuration. When you power on it, so some configuration loaded, right? Startup configuration. Okay. So whatever the configuration we are doing, it's in the running configuration. But in startup configuration, that configuration is okay. Currently, no startup configuration is empty one. Okay. So it's empty one. So once you copy the running to startup, then it will be there. The default one. Okay. So what we are doing is we are saving our configuration to startup configuration. This startup configuration file is inside your NVRAM, non-volatile RAM, it's a kind of hard disk. Okay, it's a kind of hard disk inside your switch and routers also. Okay, so it's a kind of same destination file startup configuration only. Okay, this is one way of saving your configuration. For example, if I restart the switch, no problem, my configuration is set. Without saving, if your router or a switch is restarted, or next time boot, on or off, okay, your configuration will be gone because the configuration saved in a RAM, not permanently in the NVRAM. So you reboot, next reboot, this configuration will be gone. You want it for every time, then you must save it. I said another easy way to save the configuration is simple command is write command. You can use the write command. Both are good. Okay, so finally we done VLAN. Yeah, if you show startup configuration also, it will show you all the configuration. Guys, understand how to configure a VLANs? Message. Yeah, we'll do testing from this PC0 to PC2. Yeah, communicate. From PC to PC3 in progress, failure. Earlier it is communicated. Now it is unable to communicate. From here to here, we can communicate. From here to here, can't communicate. Even though they are having same IP addresses, same logical network, but still they can't able to communicate. Let's understand this VLAN configuration,
Yes, sir.
even the broadcast, even though they are trying to do broadcast also within the, can take a simulation to understand the broadcast from here to here. So the packet sent, it broadcast within its VLAN only. Okay, not to enter switch. That is different broadcast, this, okay, not IP broadcast. Next, to the extension. Okay, this VLAN we are already discussed yesterday. But in one network, means like an organization, we have a lot of computers. The switches, what is the switch we have taken? That is 24-port switch. Devices connected. Devices are connected. And I want to, devices all are connected to the multiple switches. Devices connected to the multiple switches. Like this. Some devices connected to one switch, some devices connected to another switch. You create a VLANs in one switch, and there is a sales department is in one floor, and their sales department in another floor, connected to another switch. So they need to be communicated. No? Sales people should communicate each other. That's why we are divided. So this group of people should communicate each other. That's why in the switch we created a VLANs. So we divide them logically. Okay, not with logical IP. So virtually we are divided. Things like if we divide a switch virtually, or we create a logical boundary, and these ports connected devices will communicate each other. Good. Okay. So in one floor, this is one floor LAN configuration. In another floor, I have another switch. In there also sales people are there, marketing people are there, HR people also there. Again, I'm creating that LANs. Okay, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. This time I'm taking 2 systems only. So why 2 systems? I have to configure IP address for each and every system. That's button. So this is a second floor. Here also we are doing, this is sales people connected to the port number 1 and 2. Okay. Marketing people are connected to port number 6, 7, up to 10 they can able to connect it. Means 1 to 5. Okay. And they are connected from 11 to 15. Okay, 11 and 12 are connected here. Same to same, I use, no need to be same to same, just VLAN 11, VLAN 11, because it works based on the tagging. Okay, tagging is very important, not which port it is. Means, for example, VLAN 11 is configured on a port number 11, 12, 13, 14. VLAN 12 configured on a port number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 13 is configured on a 20, 21, 22. No problem. Okay, anything we can configure. So all depends upon the administrator. But just our understanding and quickly remember without more trial in a starting time. So we do it. We forget one thing, that is IP address. But this system, I started giving IP address from 20 onwards. Same network. Network is not changing. There I given 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. From here I am giving from 20 onwards. Is 21. So in the switch, we did create any VLAN. So means these all systems will communicate each other. Okay. Even if you try to communicate, one second. See, you will see now that the broadcast domain. Okay. So packet send, because no VLANs, it is one broadcast domain. Later, using a MAC address table, it is unicast packets. Okay. It's communicate. Okay. Same thing I'm going to create here in the switch too. Okay. I'm not saving any separate configuration files, guys. Okay. So just understand and do it. Whatever I configured in the first switch, same thing I'm configuring second switch. Okay. While I'm doing, I will keep on telling, just doesn't write or anything. Okay. So write also good, parallel. Now I'm in a privileged mode. Then first thing is show VLAN brief, BRIEF. So these are the basic configuration. Next, configure terminal. Okay. So first I want to change host name, means switch name to the switch 2. First switch configuration is switch 1, second switch configuration is switch 2. Here, first we are to configure VLANs. Same numbers I am using. VLAN 11, name is sales. Okay, exit. VLAN 12, name marketing, exit. VLAN 13, name is HR. So VLAN database is created. So I specified who are the VLANs. Now we have to associate our ports to the VLAN. In earlier, I used first, for example, first port, only one port I added, then remaining ports like range wise are added. We understand what is the meaning of range. So I'm giving range in a starting only 1 to 5 ports belongs to switch port. Switch port mode access. There is a several shortcuts are there to type, guys. Okay. So just for our understanding, I am not using the shortcuts. Okay. Okay. So 125 VLAN 11. Next interface range FA 0 by 6 to FA 0 by 10. Same command, switchboard mode access. See, if I use this up arrow, down arrow, you can also do that one. But thing is, best is typing is easy. Okay. So interface range FA 0 by 11 to FA 0 by 15. Okay. I said no. Typing is more easier than up arrow, down arrow button. Now everything is completed and show VLAN read. Okay. All are configured. Same. You can save it. Just simply type the command write or copy running configure and to startup configuration. Just write is simple. Now both side configuration is done. Okay. The best. Okay. Okay. Not this one. This switch. Want it? From here. Only this is switch 2 configuration. Okay. This is we have done on the switch 2. Switch 1 configuration, I will give you that. Okay. Now, VLAN is configured and tested. These devices are able to communicate or not. Failed. They can't able to communicate from here to here. So they can't able to communicate. Even you want to check the broadcast from here to here, check packet sent to the switch, but it does not broadcast to all the ports. Within that VLAN only, it is doing broadcast because one broadcast domain VLAN now it is multi-broadcast domain. The thing is, these are VLAN 11, these are all VLAN 11. If I want to communicate between these VLANs, this device to device, we can't communicate. Anyway, they are not connected. Okay. Now I want to connect this switch to switch and we'll see. We are connecting this switch to this switch. I try to connect either which is not in the VLAN. Okay. Either you can take those or not belongs to VLANs. VLAN 1 wise I'm connecting. Here again I'm connecting this gigabit 0 by 0 I connected. The orange means so it is checking the status. 1 second, it is switch to switch is crossover cable. Of course it works, but still better to use the crossover cable. Dotted one. Okay. Dotted one. We have to wait till it is turned into the green color. So when you insert a cable in a both end of the cable, so it will there is a transmission like a connectivity is checking is there. Okay, both side connected successfully. Here on the switch or in a patch panel or a switches in your system also, it shows this green colors. Means link is good like that. There's two LEDs are there, guys. One is link status, another one is speed status. Means link status means connected. If it is connected, it will shows the green color. Okay, speed status, different colors are there. Orange color, green color, yellow color. So depends upon 10 Mbps, 100 Mbps, 1 Gbps, it shows the color in a LED status. So what I said, LAN, LED, yeah, LAN port actually I put a LAN, but LAN port or RJ45 port, this LED. Link and activity. Okay. The status, so okay, off, no link, linked data activity. It is this side. And other side is speed LED. Off means it's not blinking. It's 10 Mbps connection. Green means 100 Mbps. Orange means 1 Gbps connection. Okay. So this is a actually good one. But that is also good. This is also good to understand. Okay. Anyway, green means status is good. Connectivity is there. Now, again, I'm trying to communicate from here to here. Both are in the logically same IP address I'm using, but still they are unable to communicate. And both are in a same VLAN also. These PCs VLAN 11, these PCs also VLAN 11, but they are unable to communicate. Understand, guys, what happened there? This is my switch. This is another switch. Here I created VLAN 11, VLAN 12, VLAN 13. Now here it is VLAN 11, VLAN 12, VLAN 13. There are certain devices are connected to these devices. Okay. Some are connected to VLAN 11, some are connected to VLAN 13, some are connected to VLAN 12. I put unnecessarily like this. Okay. These are all connected to VLAN 12. Yeah. Okay. So the point is here, this is VLAN 11, this is 12, this is 13, good. And this is 11, this is 12, this is 13. These systems are communicate each other. These are all communicating each other. Good. Within the VLAN, they will communicate each other. But I want to make them communicate between the two switches. Means they need to be connected. So I made a connectivity like this. Okay. I made a connectivity between these two switches. Then I try to communicate between this VLAN connected PC to this switch. Okay. Within the VLAN 11, I try to communicate. They're not communicating because what are the traffic is in between this boundary only. It cannot cross this boundary. That's a VLAN. Cannot cross that VLAN boundary. Even that another switch also VLAN, but same VLAN number, same VLAN ID, they can't communicate because that's a boundary. You want to make them communicate, what you have to do? You have to connect like this. Like this. Means this switch from VLAN 11 to this switch VLAN 11. This VLAN 12 to VLAN 12 ports. You should connect it. Then these devices will communicate each other. Okay. Within that VLAN, they will communicate each other. Okay. Again, what I am going to do is I am going to remove this connection. Next, look at here, guys. VLAN 11, 1 to 5. So 4 is available. Here also 4 is available. You can take 3 also, no problem. So now it is VLAN 11, VLAN 11 ports is connected, available ports connected. Again, 10. Okay, 10 is belongs to VLAN 12. Here also the 10 is belongs to VLAN 12. Again, one more port. For 13. 13 is 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, like that. I'm taking last port just for understanding purpose. Okay. So what I've done, so I connected. This is 1 to 5. So I connected 5 to 5 here. 5 or 4 something I connected. Okay. Here I connected 10, which is in this port. 10 also here I taken. 15 here, same 15 I've taken. Because it is 11 to 15. This is 11 to 15. This is 6 to 10. This is 1 to 5. Okay. So I've taken the last port. So then all are up and running. Now test the connection from this PC to this PC. Communicating. From here to here, not communicating. Okay. From where? From this VLAN to VLAN, not communicating. But from this VLAN to the same VLAN, VLAN 12, this side also VLAN 12, communicating. This is VLAN 13 system, this side VLAN 13 system. communicating. Okay. The devices in the same VLAN can communicate in their own switch, and other switch also they can able to communicate. Possibilities there, right? Got it, guys? Understand the concept of one VLAN devices connected to another VLAN devices, the same VLAN. With different VLAN, they can't communicate. Right, this is VLAN 12, this is VLAN 11, not communicate. Okay, no bypass. Understand this concept. Understand this connection.
Yes, sir.
Okay, good. The problem is, if you have it 5 VLANs, 4 VLANs, you need to connect, right? Another switch, another switch, another switch. Maybe you have 10 switches, and you created VLANs in that all 10 switches, and all these things comes under in the first floor. Sales department should be communicated to second floor sales department. So VLAN wise, we are connected. You try a 1 wire, 2 wire, 3 wire between the switches separately. Instead of 1 wire connection, you put a 3 wires now. Think like another switch is added. One more wire you have to add it, right? One more switch is there. Okay. Then what you have to do? One more line. One more line you have to connect from again here. But what happened to these ports? Ports will be reduces. Okay, in the switch, the second switch, it is 2 ports that should be dedicated for VLAN connection. Again, one more switch means from here again you have to connect it. So it is more ports are unnecessarily using for these connectivities. Okay. Second one is, so there is a server, maybe a DHCP server, maybe a DNS server, maybe a web server, maybe internet connection, maybe a router internet connection. Again, you want to connect. What you have to do? You have to connect multiple ways. Means from here one line and from here one line. From here you have to connect it. So that is become burden on the total wiring only. So your entire organization filled with wires only. Generate lot of confusion in the wiring. So what we are doing is, instead of following this kind of things, so instead of this one, what we are doing is we use a trunk port. This is, we connect, we take one port here and another port in the another switch, which is not belongs to any VLANs. Maybe it is belongs to any VLANs also possible. Generally, it's a VLAN 1 port, or it can be any VLAN port, but you have to specify this port is a trunk port. You have to specify this port is trunk port. Trunk port. What is the purpose of this trunk port? It will forward your VLAN's data to it. You want to connect from one switch to another switch, a switch to a router, a switch to a server. So the port is must be a trunk port. So then other devices in the VLANs, the devices in the different VLANs can send their data through this trunk port. Can send their data through this trunk port. Simply say this device want to communicate with this device. How they will communicate? From here, this VLAN, that VLAN forward data to this trunk port to this switch this trunk port from here to VLAN. So there is a data frame is there. There is a data frame in trunk port. Data frame is there called a .1Q. .1Q data frame. They use it. In that one, it will add the VLAN 1. So this is a packet came to the switch. This VLAN 11. Okay, it add while sending the packet, it add VLAN ID also. VLAN ID also. Send that VLAN ID along with that one trunk port. Trunk port, there is a carrier, so it will attach the protocol will attach this VLAN ID also. Then definitely it will send to the VLAN 11 only, not to the 12 or anything. Okay, this is how it is useful. Second, of course, this device want to access that server. So through VLAN 12, go through the trunk port. If some other trunk port is connected, and to connect it this. Same thing for the router. Same, it is connected to the router. Router also will do that one. Yeah. Now we'll keep it between the two systems. So this concept called a trunking. So you don't require to connect multiple connectors for each VLAN. Don't require to connect multiple connection for each VLAN. Just we need a one connectivity, and through that one we can send all our VLAN data. So simply, yeah, yeah, you can take anything, guys, no problem. Just you can use like fast Ethernet 2424 I connected. Gigabit also you can use it. Depends upon your switch. Anything you can connect. But right now I'm using fast Ethernet 0 by 24 to connect between these switches. Then I go to 1 by 1 switch. Okay, 1 by 1 switch. So first switch 1, enable and show VLAN brief. Okay, and show VLAN also. And you can see there is some other data, but we require this command in later. Now go to configuration mode, configure, terminal, and interface, fast Ethernet 0 by 24. That is, I connected from this switch to another switch. And so then I make this interface as a trunk port. So you have to tell this is your a trunk port. Switch port mode. Now it is not access. Now it is trunk port. Switch port mode, trunk. Okay. Now the port is trunk port. And one more command is there. Switch port mode, trunk port, switch port, trunk, put a question mark, allowed or native. So native means you can make this trunk as a negative for all interface, like a set trunking at native character when interface is trunking mode, like that it is there. Allowed means which VLAN data you want to allow. You have a multiple VLANs, but you want to allow only one or two VLANs through it. Then you can specify only this specific VLANs or all the VLANs you can want to allow. So you can use native or you can use allowed also. I use allowed. Okay. So what is VLANs you want to allow or you want to accept someone. All means all VLANs data can passes through this trunk port. You can allow all except this particular VLAN. None. No VLAN is allowed. Okay. You want to add means you allow one VLAN, but one or two VLANs. Later you want to add extra, then you can add it. Just by giving all. We should understand concept rather than more comments. Okay. Concept understand, so remaining will understand by practice. Practice, cross-verify. Practice, cross-verify. Do something, cross-verify what happened. Definitely will understand. What I done, I allow all VLAN data through this trunk port. That's it. Trunking is completed. Then save it. So I made this port as a trunk port. In switch 1, configure trunk port on switch 1. Later, we'll remove the extra things what we have displayed here, like this show trunk port, show trunk. It's not required. Even these things, outputs and all, use it. So later we'll modify that. So switch 1 completed. Then we'll go to the switch 2. In switch 2 also, FA 0 by 2 and enable show VLAN brief, not brief, just all VLAN data, anything separately showing. One more command is that show interface. This one. Who is your trunk port? By default, it is automatically configured. This command we should run in a switch 1 also. So this is because of in switch 1, you specified FK 0 by 2 is a trunk port. Automatically in auto mode, we take that one as a trunk port in the switch 2 also. We'll go to the switch 1. Let's show interface trunk. It is showing on. On means I manually made this port as a trunk port. Okay. Encapsulation is dot 1Q. Dot 1Q. Status is trunk port. Okay. So this one also we have to put it. Your notepad. And I said allow all means all this VLANs data will be allowed. Why didn't use the native? Because already one native VLAN is there, so I don't want to disturb that configuration. Okay, so again, in a switch 2, because in switch 1 you are already told that port is trunk port, automatically this side wherever it is connected, it automatically configured as a trunk port. Or if you want to specify manually, also you can do it. Just go for configure terminal interface. Switch port mod trunk. Switch port trunk. The load VLAN N save and show interface VLAN. Now it is showing on. Earlier auto configuration. Now it is permanently. Now we configure trunk port on both side. Now we will test it. Is the same VLAN devices will communicate or not? Okay. And where are we? Put from 1 here. Successful. VLAN 12, VLAN 12. VLAN 13 device, VLAN 30 device will communicate. We are not required to put a multiple lines here. Just one trunk port is enough to send all the data. We can cross verify VLAN 11 to VLAN 12 in progress, means not communicated. Also check the broadcast simulation. Put on the VLAN 1, sorry, VLAN 11 VLAN 11 in another. How the packet is sent? It send a broadcast. Within that VLAN only. See, it broadcast within that VLANs across different switches. And also unicast within that VLAN only. Okay. So this is trunk and VLAN concept. Guys, understand what is trunk and VLAN?
Yes, sir.
Hmm?
Yes, sir.
Understand, not understand, not at all understand.
Yes, sir.
If anybody want an explanation, means detailed explanation, you can take a picture of this one once you designed everything, and it won't duplicate. Like you can put it in a chat GPT, it will explain what are the things we are configured here. Okay, but you have to write everything. This is VLAN 11 and 11. What is 11? It is VLAN ID. So, and 12 and 13. VLAN 12 and 13. All we use same network for all the system. For all system, same network and same network ID. And this is our trunk port. This is our trunk port. This side and that side, both side it is trunk port. So once you done save, you have to save the configuration. (18) Feb switching VLAN trunk also we discussed it. Okay. If you understand VLAN, we will understand trunk. If you understand trunk, then we can understand next concept that is called a VTP domain, and there is one STP concept is there. So that we will see it. Not inter-VLAN routing is little tricky. Means again virtual ports we have to create to connect. That's a little tricky, but right now I'm not doing anything like that. So simply what I'm doing is later also we'll do one more practical, that is how to assign IP address to simply how we land and what is the scenario. We'll see that one. Okay. So next topic is VTP concept. We'll see that one. Again, there also take time like this. Okay. So configuration of IP address and all these things will take time. Okay. But what is the concept of VTP domain? We'll see it. And one more concept is STP. Then switching part is the major switching part will be completed. There's few more things are there, like port security kind of concept. We'll see that one, whether we can able to do it. So once we complete VTP kind of stuff, then we'll go with the routing again. So in the routing, I will explain what is the routing and a difference between the routing protocols also we'll discuss. First, I will explain it. Okay, then we will implementation. We'll see it. We need to take more time today, guys. Like 6:30, at least we have to take it. Morning we can't able to do it now. So max we have to cover because there is a new topics are added by your entity. So that's we need to explore more in it. So new topics are added. This is continuation. It is including this is itself in the new topic. So no problem. Yeah, take a break, guys. First is important one is take a break. Take a 10 minutes of break. 15 minutes. So we started almost like 2:30. Now it is somewhere. So take 15 minutes break. Come back at